Utah has become one of those teams that you know will be in the Pac-12 South title picture and should be going to a bowl game. They have one of the longest tenured coaches in college football and know how to develop and fit players in their system. That leaves one question: how will they do this year? Let's talk about that. As we enter the third week of July, we are now in prime preview magazine season as the college football season quickly approaches. Over the next 2 months, I will be previewing every college football team. Yes, all 130, and in this episode, I will be looking at Utah. Last year, Utah went 3-2 during the 2020 football season and returned 86% of their production from last year, which ranks 9th nationally. On offense, they returned 81% of their production, which is the 34th most, and 91% of their production on defense, which is 5th most. It feels like head coach Kyle Whittingham has been at Utah for forever at this point. He is the third longest tenured head coach in college football, behind Kirk Ferentz and Gary Patterson, coaching at Utah for over 16 years. Whittingham has put together a record of 134-66 and has led the Utes to 5 of their 8 10-win seasons since 1892. Before he took over the head coaching job, Whittingham was the defensive coordinator at Utah for 10 years, making this his 27th year at Utah. He has put together an 11-3 bowl record with the Utes and has had his contract extended until 2027. In 2019, Whittingham brought in Andy Ludwig at offensive coordinator. He had spent the previous 4 years at Vanderbilt and was the offensive coordinator at Utah from 2005 to 2008. Sixth-year defensive coordinator Morgan Scaley has been at Utah since 2008. On offense, Utah returns 10 starters but could have a new starting quarterback under center. Sophomore Cam Rising won the starting job last year but got hurt on the 14th snap of the season. This opened up the door for Jake Bentley, who took over the role and has since transferred to South Alabama. Utah made a big splash in the transfer portal by adding Baylor quarterback Charlie Brewer after 4 years in Waco. Throughout his career, Brewer has thrown for 9,700 yards and 65 touchdowns while also rushing for 1,095 yards on the ground. They also added Texas quarterback transfer Jaquindon Jackson, and 4-star freshman Peter Castelli is also on campus. But the quarterback battle is expected to be between Rising and Brewer, with Jackson possibly being a Wildcat quarterback. At running back, Utah adds Oklahoma transfer TJ Pledger and LSU transfer Chris Curry. Pledger rushed for 451 yards and 5 touchdowns on 91 carries last year and finished his Oklahoma career rushing for 695 yards and 6 touchdowns on 135 carries, while also having 89 receiving yards on 11 receptions. Curry rushed for 336 yards on 91 career carries at LSU, also having 4 receptions for 33 yards. Sophomore Micah Bernard averaged 5.1 yards per carry last year and will also have Ricky Parks and JUCO transfer Tavion Thomas. At wide receiver, Utah lost a handful of guys due to the transfer portal, but do return some key players. Do-it-all wide receiver Britton Covey and Jalen Dixon return. All Pac-12 tight end Brant Keithy also returns as well. They also went into the transfer portal and added Oklahoma transfer Theo Howard. The entire offensive line returns this fall and will be led by all Pac-12 lineman Nick Ford. They will have 99 career starts combined, and this will be the deepest line Whittingham has ever had. On the defensive side of the ball, the Utes returned 8 starters from last year. The defensive line has always been a focus for Utah, as they have sent 18 defensive linemen to the NFL since 1994. They should be a strong unit this year with 8 players returning with starting experience. According to Phil Steele, Utah will have the 13th best linebacker core in the country. Redshirt junior Devin Lloyd decided to forego the NFL draft and return to Salt Lake for one more season. Last year, Lloyd recorded 48 tackles and 2 sacks and finished as a second-team All-American. Nefi Sewell returns as the rover position and earned all Pac-12 honors last year. Ethan Calvert could make an impact this year. He's one of the highest-rated recruits in program history. The Utes also added Ethan's brother Josh via the transfer portal from Washington. Going into the 2020 season, the secondary was the biggest question for the Utes. Clark Phillips III and Jatravis Brutton both returned. Vontae Davis returns at one safety spot, with the other position being a question mark. RJ Hubert re-injured himself in the spring game, and they lose Nate Ritchie, who was a 2-year starter but will be on an LDS mission. They also add Washington transfer Brandon McKinney. They should be competing for a Pac-12 title this year and have a favorable schedule on paper. According to Phil Steele, the Utes play the 37th hardest schedule in the nation. Athlon projects the Utes to go 8-4 and 5-4 in conference, and ESPN projects that they will win 8.4 games and 5.9 conference games. When I look at their schedule, I see them starting the season going 4-0 heading into their bye. I believe they dropped the game at USC, coming out of their bye before going on a 3-game win streak, beating Arizona State, Oregon State, and UCLA before dropping a game at Stanford. I think they beat Arizona, lose to Oregon, and finish the regular season with a win over Colorado, finishing the year with a 9-3 record and 6-3 conference record. But what do you think? How will Utah do this year? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos in the preview series. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.